basically Dave was saying that we're all God, right? And John said the Bible has all the proof anybody could want to prove that it's God's word. Even though the Pope's librarian says it's not, there's apparently proof in there that it is, right? Most people have never examined the evidence. Actually, I've spent a lot of years examining the bloody evidence. There are several proofs the Bible is God's word. The Bible is proven true based on history, archaeology and Bible prophecy. Well, I watched a programme on that recently that says that that proves that the Moses bit was wrong because he led the slaves out of Egypt to this land of milk and honey, but the place that he led them to was under Egypt's rule at that time. Fact. So it's not, you know, and this and so basically we can't beat Dave. The Bible is very clear on the identity of God. We can't all be God. There is only one God, right? Now I fully appreciate that, and I would wholeheartedly agree with it that there is only one God. That God is something that we are all a part of. Now, first of all, may I just point out that I didn't read it anywhere before I said that. Just then I did, obviously. But when I first sort of thought, no, actually, we're all God and we're all Satan, I hadn't read that anywhere. I was right at the beginning of my journey, and I knew very little, and I'd not heard anybody else say it. All of these other people that have said it, I'm like, oh, well, other people have said it, so it must, you know, there's got to be something in it as far as I'm concerned. Hold on a minute. I beg of you to look at the basic logic of God. Which makes more sense? That there is a man, a separate entity, one person who can be with everybody on the planet all at the same time, make 1,000,000 separate decisions all at the same time, independently, one person separate on his own, and yet still have time to manage the birds, manage the trees, blah de blah de blah, and run his office. Or that one man is all of us, that we are that God. We are capable of all of these amazing things that God is capable of, because we are. We could save the world tomorrow from Satan if we just decided. Do you know what I mean? But this is where my work becomes really tough, because I'm challenging the Bible. Now, I'm not challenging anybody's belief, because I too follow and wholeheartedly stick by the lessons that the Bible tries to teach. But the Bible is the words of man, and there are too many words of man that promote segregation and judgment and cruelty. And I think that the ones that actually teach what the real stuff is were the ones that the Catholic Church burned, that none of us will ever see. You know what I mean? Now, if these bits, right, if the Catholic Church decided that we couldn't see them, they chose for us to never have that knowledge, right? How are we meant to get that knowledge? Now, I believe that the truth is inside, because for a few years, that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been looking for my answers by just shutting my eyes, sitting out in the sunshine, watching the clouds, looking at leaves. You know, the miracle of the world that we are currently stuffing up Christians included, you know, is awe-inspiring. And yet we choose to ignore all that and focus on a dead guy because he's dead, right? And we choose to believe that we don't have to do anything and that we're all saved because he's dead. We have no proof that this man exists, has ever existed, right? Yet millions of us base every decision we have on somebody else's retelling of his life, but then think, well, he died, we're saved. And it is blatantly obvious when you look at the world, especially from outside, that we haven't been saved. You know, since Jesus's time, we've had wars. Now that's not Satan. There's not a bloke going, "I've got to start a war today." It's not. It's human beings that have done that. Yeah? Now, we don't get told to do that by some man who lives somewhere. Like we don't get told to be good by some man who lives somewhere. It is all internal choices. The truth is in you. But with tools like the Bible, we have been programmed to believe that all of our answers lie elsewhere. Look up, look down, look in a book, go into a building. Now, that is not what Jesus was trying to teach. He was trying to teach you to look inside, to find the answers for yourself, to feel love, compassion, caring, sharing. Do you know what I mean?